Success.
Food. So yummy.
Success.
Thanks, boo.
Get a shot of that guac, will ya?
Oh my goodness.
You could charge for that.
That looks good. Hey, welcome back to another studio vlog. I hope you enjoyed that little intro. I wanted it to be kind of uplifting and share a bit of the beauty and the fun little moments that I have had since the last studio vlog. But to be real with you, that's it. That's the extent of the life that I have lived outside of this apartment or outside of my artwork and my work for the last few weeks, really, since the last studio vlog. I mean, we are in a pandemic, so I spend a lot of time at home working on my artwork, and I hope that does make for some interesting content for you because you're here because you like studio vlogs. So I definitely have some painting and, you know, talking about, well, actually I try out making my very first little animated illustration, a little animation in Procreate. And so I hope there's some interesting stuff for you. But if you're looking for like a vlog style in the sense of this is my life and everything that's happening, there's not really that much else that I can share with you. So yeah, actually what is kind of cool is I know some of you are interested in the Make Art That Sells classes, and I just completed another little course there, maybe like a week ago or so. So I share a little of those paintings and that process with you in this vlog. Well, yeah, the animation is for that assignment, and the assignment was, it was like my dream come true basically, because you don't know when you sign up for the course what the content is going to be. You know you're going to illustrate some kind of concept or like an article, magazine article, something like that, but you don't know what it's actually going to be. That's part of the fun mystery. And so what it ended up being was an assignment to illustrate the core concept in a newspaper article from the New York Times. And it was about, well, it was basically a focus on biology, you know, science, environmental aspects. And the concept was how you shouldn't consider trees in a forest to be like an individual organism, but rather that they called it like the wood wide web. They are combined, one giant organism, like the whole forest. The trees in the forest are, you know, linked by basically fungi, you know, that are communicating with the roots, and you have these mother trees that will basically feed nutrients and you know, just communicate and assist the smaller trees, the trees that need help. I mean, it was such a beautiful concept and such a beautiful topic, and I was so glad I got to learn about it and I got to, you know, give it a go to illustrate this wonderful, gorgeous, yeah, idea. And so I'll share a little more about that, and I will share, you know, about some other courses I'm participating in right now, and I hope that this will still be a cool studio vlog. So with that, let's go. Although, actually I go right into painting, so you'll have no idea what my original goal was with that painting. So let me just share that with you real quick before we start. And so, basically, what I wanted was that I would have, well, originally I wanted like a heart shape. So these two mother trees that would be in this heart shape, and that they would basically like open and close to, you know, give protection and to grant access to sunlight to this like small baby tree in the middle. And then I wanted that to be the above ground view, and below the ground I wanted it to be the roots that are feeding in, and also how you could see with like little pieces of glimmer kind of, you know, nutrients and love and all this flowing, how it would go from the outside and the top down through the roots to the bottom and have that baby tree grow. But I work, as you know, at this point at least, in an analog medium. I use actual watercolor on watercolor paper. And so with animation, what you need is you need a bunch of different images that have tiny changes so that you can get a smooth transition. So if I wanted like to have the trees opening up, I would need like a tree here, that's 2 paintings. And then I would need another one that's like this and another one that's like this. Like I would have to keep repainting the whole thing. And so that obviously takes a long time. So you'll kind of see in the video what I ended up achieving in time for that class deadline. You might expect it's not like as amazing as I wanted it to be, but it was super cool to give it a shot and see what I could, you know, create within that time frame. Anyway, enough of my face. Let's get to the paintings. I am almost done with my very first version of at least 4 that I would like to do of that mini baby tree. And well, you can see it's almost done. I do have to add some details, especially on this leaf, but yeah. I guess I have a question. That's why I'm popping back in with this semi-completed tiny little painting. That is, how do you do it? Because the reason that I couldn't show you on this YouTube video is that I had to pop my camera the other way around for the format on Instagram Reels, which I've just started to do. I know TikTok has that same format and I haven't created a TikTok account yet. I have been a little too scared to, but yeah, I just wonder, like, other than constantly flipping around, which I have tried, but really moves me out of that art flow, how do you do it? Do you have 2 phones, 2 cameras to get all these different angles? And then how are you switching back and forth between like a time-lapse speed paint scenario and kind of the regular, you know, details real-time scenario? And then switching angles, like there's so much, and I love recording it, but it does bring me out of the flow or just makes painting that much slower. So yeah, I'm wondering how you guys capture this, if you're also creatives that are, you know, maybe capturing YouTube content and content for Instagram / TikTok / whatever app I don't even know exists. Yeah, I'm really curious. So let me know in the comments how you have figured this out, because I love to share my process, but I want to figure out a way that's a little more effective than what I'm doing. So that being said, I'm now switching over to the YouTube format so I can actually share that second painting and just the finishing touches on this one with you over here. Before I jump in to give you the typical overhead view of me painting that you are already used to, I wanted to show you like a real life example of what my art desk actually looks like. I wish I had a lot more space, but I don't. And that's not horrible because I do paint in a pretty small format. I always use A4 paper. I have the painting materials in the front. I always use aquarelle or watercolor paintings, and I always have my coffee cup, never without, or tea if it's late at night. And then I have my laptop, and what you can see today is I'm watching Liz V Art's studio vlog. I will link it down below. While I paint, I usually have studio vlogs or something else going on YouTube in the background that I listen to more like a podcast, because obviously my eyes are looking at my watercolor paper. But so I usually have that going on rather than music. I love music, but I just can't sit still, which is going to be a problem if you are working on super detailed, intricate watercolor work where you have to be incredibly precise. So that's why I listen to studio vlogs instead and really enjoy those. All that being said, I need to get to painting because I only have one of the 16 paintings that I need to do if I want to have any chance of getting this animation done, which, well, is not realistic, but you got to start somewhere, right? So let's see how far I get. glad to share the excitement with you. I'm working on my first GIF, GIF. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, the jump between the second and the third version of the tree is definitely too big. It doesn't look natural like the transition from the first two does. So that's a bummer, because I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board and come up with a transition for the second to now the fourth tree. And yeah, I do have those hearts ready. But of course, what's missing in this first version are those extra two large trees, mother trees that I had talked about, and then having the roots also feed in. So I don't know if I'm going to get all that done, but it is pretty cool to learn, you know, another kind of set of tricks that you can, well, it's not a trick, it's a skill that you can then become better and better in, because this is my very first try. I already see all the things that are missing and all the potential there is to learn this tool and the cool things you can create. So anyway, that's just a quick little in-between hello, because I wanted to show you how cool this tiny little start is. For comparison, I'm just going to hide the largest version of the tree right now and show you the difference in the start of the animation. Now, this is the version with just the first two trees, and I think it looks much better, like it's just growing into itself. So yeah, it definitely shows me that the start is good, and I need to come up with a third one to have a better transition to the fourth tree. I just wanted to let you know really quickly that I am not going to describe how I figured out how to use this like very rudimentary animation approach that I did, because after doing it once, I don't think I'm the right person to explain it to you step by step. It just doesn't make that much sense. But because you're probably curious if you haven't done it yourself, and it really wasn't that difficult other than like all the extra paintings I had to do, I will leave links in the description box to the videos that I watched to learn how to do this. I hope it's helpful. So I didn't get like footage of this stuff. I'm wondering maybe I'll blend in something down here as I'm talking about what I have been working on. But as you know, I'm going through like a few other classes. And what I definitely maybe should be doing is focus on like one, because I think each of these classes could fill up your evenings and weekends easily if you really want to focus on them. But I do it in the sense that they all have like video content or podcast content, and I just kind of like take it in little pieces and go at the speed I can. And they each have a different focus, so it kind of works for me to have multiple things going on there. So we already went through the Make Art That Sells course. That was going on. That was, I think, like 3 or 4 weeks long. It's done now, and you know, the painting that I was able to do in those weeks was basically focused on that. I wasn't able to also do like patterns and make other things. It's just no. But I have some paintings out of that, like one of the little trees and the bee that I'm going to make into a new pattern with a few new paintings that I have to complete first. But so I am going to be able to use parts of that and don't have to start from scratch and kind of miss those weeks. So yeah, that was going on. And then 2 other classes. There were others, you know, especially like little freebie classes and stuff that I was also testing out to see if I was interested in the content. But the ones that have stuck with me and that I decided to then really pursue was, one is by me and Orla. And it is called the Insta Retreat. And it's really focused on, yeah, just kind of getting a cohesive, beautiful Instagram page. And I haven't quite gotten to the stage where I know how I want to incorporate photos and other things that aren't just like the completed artwork on Instagram, because this is a very specific look right now. But I think it's beautiful, but kind of like predictable, a little boring. But I struggle with editing and, you know, basically getting photos that are beautiful without altering how the artwork looks. And, you know, I don't want to mislead anyone on the colors. So yeah, there's all these questions I have in my mind, but I'm really happy to be looking into what I could be doing. And so that, you know, kind of is the tail, or really goes with the other class that I have been talking about regarding social media. And so, yeah, I'm slowly working through that. It's a lot of kind of, you know, just gathering ideas and figuring out how do you want to do things. I don't know why I'm playing with this brush. I think it's like I got it for the photo at the start, and now anyway. I don't even use that brush. I use only basically this guy, this tiny guy. Can you see him? He's in a really sad state too. I'm like, oh, I desperately need a new brush, but all the art stores are closed. I only use very fine brushes, and by brushes I mean one brush that I do all my paintings with. So this was for optics. I like destroying things. Okay. So, and then blah, 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 social media, working on it. So definitely haven't figured it out yet, but I think it's so important as an artist to, you know, yes, not get caught up in the numbers and not, you know, like be obsessed with it, but at the same time, it's such an incredible tool to use. And I do think there's a learning curve, right? And you do have to figure out what value are you adding, and what is interesting, and what is helpful, and what is beautiful in your presentation. And there's so many cool things that I think you can't just like discard and say, oh, social media is bad. I think there's aspects of it that are bad. I think it's bad to get obsessed with it and like measure your self-worth on it, but I'm not of the opinion that social media as an artist is a bad thing, and learning how to use it, and you're learning like who you are trying to reach and what you can give them, and I think it's a good thing. But that's my personal take on it, and that is why I'm, you know, investing in time in courses like that. So that's been going on. And then I don't know if you know yet. If you follow me on Instagram, you have heard it in my stories. But yeah, what I have been following, there's another like 5-day intro course kind of thing, and then I signed up. And it's something that has been kind of on my wish list for a long time. As soon as I learned about it, I was like, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. This is the skill that I am lacking. So it has to do a little bit with, you know, my favorite little postcards. Oh, I love this ring light, but it makes it easy to see me and impossible to see my postcards. It's like, can you see it? No. Okay. Anyway, you've probably seen them. Otherwise, check them out on Instagram. But the issue with these postcards is that they are hand assembled in Procreate. Like, I paint each one of these little things separately, and then I like stuff them all together on a canvas in Procreate, and it looks good like this, but it is not very accurate technically, like the distances between things, and that is the extent of the artwork. Like, that is literally the format it's in, and so things just get cut off, and I could not use this with my current skill level and my current, you know, design. I could not now use this to make wrapping paper or to make like a notebook cover, anything, because this is how big the design is. That's it. I mean, it's bigger in scale. The resolution is really high, but there's no, where it ends. That's where I've cut off the page. And so that's obviously not what I'm actually trying to do. That is me like playing around with it and teaching myself and finding a look I like. So I really want to learn how to make true repeat patterns. Again, these are things kind of, it's called like surface design. And so yeah, these are things that you could have printed on surfaces, whether that be, you know, stationery, whether that's homeware, whether that's wallpaper. I mean, there's like so many different areas, cups, like anywhere that, any surface that is printed when you go into stores and you see beautiful things with art on it, you know, that is what I'm talking about. But in my current skill level, from what I have taught myself so far, I don't really know how to do that. So one of those big things that has always been, for some reason, just this like, oh, I don't know, why don't I just sit down and learn it? I don't know. It's one of those things that I think I can't do, which makes no sense because I have learned about so many different kinds of software in my life. I'm, you know, not like, yeah, there's no reason why I couldn't teach myself and learn it, but I have always been blocked on this and thought I could not. So blah, blah, blah. I've been talking for like minutes and you still have no idea really what I'm talking about. So what I have signed up for is a course by Bonnie Christine called Immersion. And it's like an 8-week course. I think, you know, you're supposed to spend an hour a day. So I can easily do that in the morning or the evening easily. I mean, it's always difficult to take the time, but that will be the plan on average, and maybe I'll catch up on the weekends, how I usually do these courses. But the focus is for 8 weeks on 2 things. It's on learning Adobe Illustrator, which is that big, big, big thing that I need to learn. I don't know how to use Adobe products. Like I've never opened one. Kind of embarrassing, but I know analog manual work and I know a little bit of Procreate, and that is the extent of my skill level, and that's not yeah, there's a gap. So Adobe Illustrator to start with, and then the second part kind of the course focuses on this like repeat pattern skill. And so I am so excited. I just can't wait. I really, really, really wanted to do this course, and it starts March 1st. So yeah, those are kind of the big things that have been going on. I'm just going to stop here. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you have been teaching yourself or you have decided to spring for a course to get a little bit of help in learning it. That leaves you just as excited as this idea leaves me. All right. Mwah. I have some happy mail to share. This is from Tink Illustration. I, again, love her YouTube channel. It is so just colorful, and her vibe is like, you know, just a close, good friend. It's beautiful and comforting and encouraging, and I just love her vibes. But it's the first time that I finally bought something. I've been eyeing her things on her Etsy. Oh my goodness, look at this guy. But yes, when I saw this new product, I just couldn't resist anymore. Aw, it's so sad. I didn't want to ruin this little guy. Anyway, let's have a look. This is always like the best moment, no? Oh, this is so cute. I love little handwritten notes like that. Tink Outside the Box is her, well, everything, I guess. Her website, her handle, and you can also, like I said, find her YouTube channel, which I highly recommend if you enjoy studio vlogs. And we got this thank you card. The purchase you've made from my one-woman band means so much to me. I really love little messages like this. So cute. But now here comes my purchase. Oh, I'm so excited. This looks so cool. And yes, in many ways, I am a child at heart. Cute little extra, and then dun 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 dun. Now, I know this is going to be difficult to see. It is a rainbow on a transparent, but like rainbowy foil. It says, I make my own rainbows. I love how she added her little signature there too. And basically you can stick this onto your window and it will throw little rainbows in the room, which I can't wait. I can't wait to put this up. I was really, 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 really into this when I saw it. So this is my own little gift to me. I'm not really doing a lot of online shopping whatsoever right now, but this guy, I just had to have this awesome window sticker.